Welcome to the channel. Today I'm teaching you how to make crusted parmesan chicken breast. You want to start by cutting your chicken breast in half because the chicken breast is normally too thick. So we're just going to go ahead and fillet the chicken breast in half. Then we're going to be pounding it out with a mallet. You can also use a cup or a bottle if you don't have any of these gothic looking mallets. So you want to beat it on both sides. This will allow more seasonings to get into the crevice of the chicken. It also makes it a little bit more tender. So we're going to be using some of my favorite Feel Good Chef seasoning. We're going to be using some black pepper. We're also going to be using some sea salt. You want to use a generous portion of seasoning as well. Some persons only use salt, but no, here on this channel we like to use seasoning. So we're using the all-purpose seasoning, which is a mixture of different combinations, and this one will be available on the channel for sale. So we're going to coat the chicken breast on both sides. Then we're going to chop some garlic. We're going to be using some minced garlic, and we're going to be marinating it with some white wine. We're going to leave this in the fridge for about half an hour, just so this is going to absorb more flavor and also make the chicken more tender. So you want to remove the garlic from the peel. Ensure that the garlic is minced. The finer you mince the garlic is the better it is for you. You can also blend the garlic if you don't mind. So we're going to add this to the chicken and we're going to place it in the cooler. Now we're going to work on the breading. So we're using 1 egg and we're going to use some flour, of course, and we're using all-purpose flour. If you don't have flour, you can always use cornstarch. And then we're going to be seasoning the flour with a Feel Good Chef seasoning, and we're also going to be adding some more sea salt and some black pepper. Of course, you know, black pepper gives it that extra flavor. You want to coat the chicken lightly, combine all of the seasoning so that most of it don't get concentrated in one place. So I made a mistake here. I should have just placed it in the flour, then the egg, then the parmesan cheese. However, I'm starting out with the flour first, then the egg, then I'm going to be dipping it into the parmesan cheese. And you can use freshly grated parmesan cheese, but I'm using the powdered parmesan cheese. Yes, the very cheap one. So it's very easy. You can't see you don't have the ingredients for this one because we're using the cheap powdered parmesan. You can also use the brick one that you grated for yourself, but that's the one we're using. So you want to ensure that the chicken is coated on both sides, and we're going to be frying the chicken on both sides for about 5 minutes. Only 5 minutes on both sides. That's all we need to do the chicken. So we're gonna go right over onto our stove and then just follow the instruction for the rest of the video. So when you put in the chicken in the frying pan, ensure that the oil is hot but not too hot, because what will happen is that the outside will be cooked and the inside will still be raw. So you want to keep it on medium heat, and we're going to turn this over onto the next side. And of course, as I said before, we're going to be frying it 5 minutes each on both sides, but we just fried this like 3 minutes. So we're going to turn it over for an additional 2 minutes again on the opposite side. So we're just going to let this fry. You can see how crispy it is already, how juicy it is, and the egg that is on it is allowing it to bubble and not burn too quickly. So this is almost ready. We're going to take it out, drain the oil, and we're going to let it sit for a little while. Alright, so we're going to let this cool off for about 5 minutes and let the heat that is inside of the chicken breast continue to cook the chicken, because you don't want it to cook it too exact because it's going to be overdone. You can see that the liquid that is coming out of it is very clear, and clearly the chicken is done. So we're just going to let it sit for 5 minutes. Okay guys, so this is what the finished product looks like. I hope you enjoyed the video. Garnish with some parmesan. Remember to subscribe to the channel. I'm your chef, Alex the Feel Good Chef. I'm just going to go ahead and store this as a leftover. You can also watch another video on the channel, of course.